Okay, welcome again guys sa MATH123A Engineering Data Analysis, and for today we will be discussing about hypothesis testing, no? So, hypothesis testing is usually undertaken kapag halimbawa meron tayong gustong malaman na sagot sa isang curious question, no? Kasi 'di ba, na-experience natin nung senior high natin, meron tayong mga baby thesis na ginawa, no? Mga feasibility study na ginawa. Na doon meron tayong chosen topic, then sa topic natin nag-formulate tayo ng hypothesis. So ano yung tawag yung hypothesis natin is an educated guess, no? Doon sa claim o doon sa research na ginagawa natin. Okay? So, at the end of this lecture, hopefully ma-understand nyo or makapag-formulate kayo ng hypothesis based doon sa claim na nakapresent. And then, also, we will be discussing yung pag-solve ng mga critical value o paano natin i-apply yung normal distribution doon sa pag-solve ng level of significance ng hypothesis natin. Okay? So, let's start. So, ito hindi ko lang to nabago tong part na to. So, yung learning outcomes natin is as already mentioned na. Okay? So, hypothesis testing. So, researchers are more interested in answering many types of questions. For example, is the earth warming up? So, does a new medication lower blood pressure? Does the public prefer a certain color in a new fashion line? So, is a new teaching technique better than a traditional one? Or do seat belts reduce the severity of injuries? Okay? So, basically, kaya nagkakameron tayo ng research because we are curious about something. No? So, we want answers to a particular question na gagamitan natin ng scientific method. Okay? And sa aas natin ng questions na to, kailangan marunong tayong gumawa ng hypothesis natin, no? Especially kung gagamitan natin siya ng solving. Okay? So, yung mga type of questions na to can be addressed through statistical hypothesis testing ko. Okay? Which means ito yung decision making process for evaluating yung claims natin about a certain population. Okay? So, this involves collecting data from a sample and i-evaluate natin yung data. So, yung data tinatawag natin dito, so, kuha natin yung mean niya, yung standard deviation niya. Then, once nakuha natin yung mean and standard deviation, magagawa natin yung normal distribution niya. Then, i-standardize natin yung normal distribution niya. So, i-compute natin yung z-score niya. Then, after natin computein yung z-score, kung titingnan natin yung graph ng bell curve niya. Then, as we proceed dun sa discussion natin, we will tackle three methods in calculating yung uh, three methods kung paano gumawa ng decision dun sa hypothesis na ginawa natin. Okay? So, after natin ma-formulate yung hypothesis, then matest natin, the researcher will then make a decision as to whether or not yung claims natin has sufficient evidence based from our collected data, and we will be uh, making a decision whether to reject or not to reject yung null hypothesis natin. Okay? So, speaking of hypothesis, meron tayong two types of hypothesis for statistical hypothesis testing. Okay? So, yung tinatawag natin null and alternative hypothesis. So, kapag uh, kapag meron tayong claim, so ano yung claim na tinatawag natin? So halimbawa, for example, ang claim is sa loob ng, halimbawa sa out of all the first year engineering student, halimbawa, kinlaim natin na 80% of that population are male, no? So yun yung claim natin. 80% daw ng population ng first year engineering student is 80%. Ngayon, ano yung pwede nating maisip doon? Ano yung hypothesis natin? Anong educated guess natin doon? So, ano yung null and alternative natin? So, tandaan nyo muna, yun yung claim natin. Ang claim natin, 80% of the population of the first year engineering students are composed of male. Okay? Then, ano tong null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis? Ang ano lang sa kanya, lagi siya nagko-contradict ng viewpoints o opposing lagi yung viewpoints nila o contrary lagi yung viewpoints nila. Si null hypothesis, ang sabi niya, statement of no difference between the variables. Okay? They are not related. This can often be considered the status quo, and as a result, it cannot, if you cannot accept the null, it requires some action. So, ibig sabihin lang kay null hypothesis, kung ano yung nakastate sa claim na na figures or parameters, yun lang yung sineset niyang uh, uh, statement, no? So, halimbawa, sa example natin, sinabi natin 80% is composed of male, no? Pag null hypothesis pinag-usapan natin, sasabihin natin, the first year engineering student of the first year student of the College of Engineering are composed of 80% male, no? So, yun yung null hypothesis natin. In-assume na niya agad na 80% as is yung population natin. So, walang different dun sa statement natin. In-adapt lang natin kung ano yung nakastate dun sa claim natin. So, yun yung null hypothesis natin. Ano yung alternative? Siyempre, yung alternative is yung kabaliktaran nung kay null hypothesis. So, ito yung contradicting statement para kay null hypothesis. Kasi in reality, yung population na 80% hindi na masyado totoo, no? Kasi ngayon, more or less, dumadami na yung population ng female sa engineering, especially sa first year, no? So, kapag alternative hypothesis yung pinag-uusapan natin, ang magiging statement natin will be the number of first year engineering students who are male are less than or greater than nung 80%, no? So, pwedeng mag-greater than, pwedeng mag-less than, or pwedeng not equal dun sa 80%, which is contradicting dun sa null hypothesis natin. Okay? So, yun yung pagkakaiba ng null and alternative hypothesis. Okay? Mahalaga to kasi dito magbabase yung magiging notation dun sa problem natin later on. Okay? Kaya merong mga mathematical symbols na pwedeng gamitin in identifying sa problem, sa claim, kung alin ang null hypothesis at alternative hypothesis. Okay? So, later discuss natin yung mga mathematical symbol na yan. But first, after yung null and alternative hypothesis natin are determined, tapos na check na natin sa mga data natin, kailangan natin mag-make ng decision. So, this decision is whether to accept or reject yung null hypothesis natin. Okay? So, nire-reject natin yung null hypothesis natin if the sample information is more favorable dun sa alternative natin. So, meaning, halimbawa, upon sampling, lumalabas na 85% pala talaga. Halimbawa, naging 75% na lang ang male student sa first year engineering, no? Ang nangyari, 25% na pala ang female. So, reject na natin yung null hypothesis natin na equal siya sa 80%. No? Or we can not reject or do not reject yung null hypothesis, or we decline to reject the null hypothesis kasi maaring hindi kompleto yung information natin or we have insufficient data para suportahan na hindi talaga 80% yung number ng population ng first year natin. Okay? So later we have also a guide whether kung paano natin i-decide yung decision sa null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis natin. Okay? So, for now, we discuss yung mga mathematical symbol na ginagamit natin for null and alternative hypothesis. Okay? So, yung first one natin is yung sa left side natin is yung sa null hypothesis natin. So, ito yung mga ilan sa keywords na pwede natin makuha. So, equal, or greater than or equal to or less than or equal to. So yan yung ilan sa keywords natin. Later meron pa ako ibang set ng keywords na pwede nating pagbasehan. Then yung nasa right side is yung sa alternative hypothesis natin. Again, si alternative hypothesis is contradicting yung ating null hypothesis. So ibig sabihin, kung equal yung kay null hypothesis, kay alternative is not equal. Okay? Then kapag equal siya, pwede siya maging greater than, pwede siya maging less than. Okay? Or dito, greater than or equal to. Ang contradicting statement niya is less than. So less than or equal to, contradicting niya is more than. Okay? So all you need to remember is the null hypothesis always has a symbol with an equal sign in it. Okay? So nakita nyo, greater than equal. Greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, tsaka equal. Okay? While kay alternative hypothesis, never siya magkakameron ng equal sign. Okay? So the choice of word or the choice of symbol depends on the wording dun sa claim na mababasa natin. Okay? Then here are some of the additional keywords. Okay. Um, yes. Ito to. So thank you for noticing. So ito na. Sorry. Dapat mali doon sa pinagkunan ko. Ano ba yan? Okay. Thank you for noticing. So less than or equal to. So dapat pakabila yung symbol, no? Okay. Going back do sa additional keywords, kapag null hypothesis, ang bawa equal yung sinasabi natin, pwede nating term is equal to, the same as, or not change from. Okay? So that is the same. Excuse me. Okay? Then for alternative hypothesis, so for not equal, pwede natin gamitin yung not equal na term, different from, change from, not the same as. Okay? Kasi minsan sa problem, binabago-bago lang yung term, pero yan yung ibig sabihin niya. Okay? Next is halimbawa greater than, above, higher than, longer than, bigger than, increase, or at least. Ibig sabihin niya greater than. Excuse me. Then again, mali yung sign, no? This is less than. So less than, below, lower than, smaller than, shorter than, decrease or decrease from, or at most. So yan yung mga keywords natin to denote na alternative hypothesis agad yung gagamitin natin. Okay? So apply natin sa example. So let's have our first one. So halimbawa, the medical trials is conducted to test whether or not a new medicine reduces uric acid by 50%. So ano yung key term natin? Meron tayong is. Huh? Si is ay nasaan? Equal. No? So ibig sabihin, null hypothesis natin is excuse me. Ano yung magiging null hypothesis natin? Null hypothesis natin, the new medicine can reduce uric acid by 50%. Okay? So, again, in-state na agad na niya na tama o totoo yung statement na nakalagay doon sa claim natin. Okay? So, kung halimbawa sa symbol, sabihin natin reduction yung term na gagamitin niya equals to 50% agad siya in symbol. Okay? Then kapag alternative tayo, so i-contradict lang natin yung statement nung una. So ibig sabihin, the new medicine cannot, okay, reduce uric acid by 50%. So ibig sabihin, yung reduction natin, so anong kabaliktaran ng equal? So Pwedeng not equal 50%. Okay? Or pwedeng reduction natin is less than 50%. Okay? So, kinontradict natin. So, again, yung contradiction natin galing dito. So, equal siya. So, contradiction natin, not equal, greater than, or less than. Okay? Sige, isa pa example para mas malinaw-linaw. So, halimbawa, we want to test whether the general average of student in math is different from 80%. So, keyword natin, different from. Ano ang different from? Saan tayo titingin? Different from is alternative hypothesis na ang ibig sabihin ay not equal. Okay? So, ibig sabihin dito, sa null hypothesis natin, kung in symbol tayo, so general average tayo, so average pinag-uusapan, so pwedeng tawagin nating mean, no? Mean is not equal to 80%. Okay? So yan agad yung alternative hypothesis natin. So yung ating null hypothesis will be the contradicting statement ng alternative natin. So ang mean natin, yung average natin ay equal sa 80%. Okay? So kapag in words, ano yung magiging counterpart natin in words? So sabihin dito, the general average of students in math is equal to 80%. Okay? Yan yung statement natin. So, yung is not different from, mag-a-apply siya ay dun sa null hypothesis natin. So, the general average of students in math is different from 80%. Okay? So, in words, ito yung statement natin. And in symbol, ito yung statement natin. Okay? And a question po ba muna sa null and alternative? So, paghanap siya ng ano, no? Mga key terms natin. Sige, so for example. So, halimbawa, we want to test if college students take less than 5 years to graduate from college on the average. Okay? So, alam key term natin.
Less than.
Okay? So, less than. So, si less than is saan papasok si less than? Si less than ay sa
Alternative po.
alternative tayo. Okay? So, kung babalikan natin si no, so si alternative natin is on the average, no? So, average natin is less than 5, no? 5 years. So, ano ang magiging null hypothesis natin? Kung less than si alternative, si null hypothesis ay okay, correct. Correct. Mr. Capistrano, Mr. Dating Galing, tsaka Mr. Dalion. Okay, Miss Atienza. Okay, correct. So, mu natin is greater than or equal 5 years. Okay? So, don't forget yung symbol na equal din, no? Kasi okay? So, laging kasama si equal sign kay null hypothesis. Okay. So, in words, ano yung gustong sabihin ni null hypothesis? So, pwedeng sabihin natin, on average, uh, college students graduate in greater than or equal to 5 years, no? Kay alternative, edi pwedeng sabihin natin on average, college students graduate less than 5 years, no? From college. Okay? Okay. Last one, the number 4. Medyo mahaba, no? So, in an issue of US News and World Report, an article, School Standards, stated that about half of all students in France, Germany, and Israel take advanced placement exams in a third pass. The same article stated that 6.6% of US students take advanced placement exams and 4.4% pass. Test if the percentage of US students who take advanced placement exam is more than 6.6%. State the null and alternative. Okay? Alin ang keyword natin? Haba-haba ng problem, pero alin ang keyword natin? Okay? So, yan. Hopefully, malinaw na, no? Madami nang tumatama, no? More than tayo. So, ang more than is null hypothesis. So, ano to? Percentage. So, tawagin na lang nating P. More than 6.6%. So, 0.066. Kinonvert ko lang sa percentage. Okay? So, ano yung ating alternative? Null hypothesis. Probability percentage is okay, less than or equal 0.066. Okay? So, hopefully malinaw yung paggamit ng ano no pag-identify ng null and alternative hypothesis natin. Okay? Next, we go now dun sa tinatawag nating outcomes saka type 1 and type 2 error, no? Kasi after we have identified yung null hypothesis and yung ating alternative hypothesis, we are we need now to decide kung i-reject natin or not to reject yung null hypothesis natin or hypothesis natin based from the data obtained, no? So in rejecting and not rejecting yung mga hypothesis natin, meron tayong two errors na pwedeng mag-occur, yung type 1 error and type 2 error, no? So si type 1 error daw occurs kapag ni-reject natin yung null hypothesis kahit na in reality totoo pala yung null hypothesis natin. Okay? Then type 2 error is kapag i-reject naman, ayaw natin i-reject yung null hypothesis pero in reality false o mali naman pala yung null hypothesis natin. Okay? So, mas madali siyang i-visualize sa figure, no? So we have here on the left side a figure consisting on the row part, no, sa left side natin ng reject yung null hypothesis or do not reject, and the upper part, yung column ano na natin is uh, yung null hypothesis daw natin is true and then yung null hypothesis natin ay false. Okay? So, may four possible outcomes dun sa figure na yan. Yung first one natin is yung intersection ng reject yung null hypothesis and yung true yung hypothesis natin. No? So, intersection nila. Yung intersection na yan, tunay yung null hypothesis natin or acceptable yung null hypothesis pero ni-reject natin. Yun yung definition natin ng error 1. Okay? So, yun yung intersection nila. Next, mali yung null hypothesis tapos ni-reject natin. So, ibig sabihin, correct yung decision natin. Kasi walang bisa yung null hypothesis natin. Kasi na-prove natin by sampling or yung data natin na kailangan natin siyang i-reject. Okay? Then, yung probability ng rejection na to is called the power of test. Okay? Next is yung intersection nitong first column and second row. So, ayaw nating i-reject yung null hypothesis kasi alam natin na yung null hypothesis is true. That is a correct decision pa din. Okay? Then last is itong last intersection natin ng second column and second row na hindi tunay yung null hypothesis natin, pero ayaw natin siyang i-reject. Okay? So, yun yung type 2 error natin. Okay? So, remember lang tong table na to. Kasi gagamitin natin siya in our next discussion next week. Okay? So, now, ano yun ngayon yung tinatawag nating level of significance? So, si level of significance is yung maximum probability na mag-commit tayo ng type 1 and type 2 error. Again, si type 1 error is nag-reject tayo kahit na alam natin na yung hypothesis, yung null hypothesis natin is true. Si type 2 error is ayaw natin i-reject kahit alam natin na mali siya. Okay? So each of these error occurs with a particular probability represented by a Greek letter alpha and beta. Okay? So si alpha or probability of type 1 error in symbol P type 1 error 1. So ibig sabihin niya probability of rejecting the null hypothesis when the null hypothesis is true. Okay? So the same as type 2 error, so beta naman yung ginagamit. So probability of a type 2 error or P type 2 error, ibig sabihin niya probability of not rejecting the null hypothesis when the null hypothesis is false. Okay? So typical significance level, yung value niya are 0.1, 0.05, and 0.01. So ano ibig sabihin ng mga number na yan? So again, ang level of significance natin is in terms siya ng probability. Ibig sabihin, kung meron tayong normal distribution curve, somewhere yan dito, no? Area yan below dun sa curve natin. Okay? So, kapag meron tayong 0.1 na alpha, so ibig sabihin yung probability of type 1 error natin is 0.1. Ibig sabihin, we have 10% chance of rejecting a true null hypothesis. Okay? So, yun lang yung ibig sabihin. Now, we will now apply yung napag-aralan natin sa normal distribution in getting yung critical value corresponding to this level of significance, no? So, again, itong level of significance natin are probabilities, no? Kapag nakuha natin yung probability, gamit yung z-table natin, pwede natin makuha yung z-score natin, no? Then kapag alam natin yung z-score natin, if ever we have a particular set of data, meron tayong mean, meron tayong standard deviation, gagawa natin yung normal distribution curve niya. Then gagawin natin siyang standardized normal distribution by getting the z-score. Then ko-compare natin yung z-score na yon do sa critical value, no? Na makukuha natin dito sa level of significance. Okay? So, ano ba yung critical value? So, critical value separates the critical region and the non-critical region. So, critical value, ito will be z-score, no? From table. Okay? Manggagaling nga sa z-score natin. Then, critical region natin is yung range ng values na nag-i-indicate na nag-i-exist yung error na yun. Okay? So, ibig pag nag-lie doon sa loob na yon yung value ng actual z-score mo, reject yung null hypothesis mo. Okay? Then, kapag nag-lie siya sa non-critical region, sabihin, pwede natin i-accept yung null hypothesis natin or we will not reject our null hypothesis. Okay, noted, Miss Daram. Okay? So, ganito yan. So, let's say we have 0.01 na probability. So, ano daw yung ibig sabihin ng right tail test, no? So, ang ibig sabihin ng right tail test is yung mean natin is equals to a certain number. Okay? And then, right tail siya kasi yung mean natin is greater than that certain number. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, yung null hypothesis natin, yung statement niya equal, yung alternative natin is greater than. Okay? So, dito, meron tayong given na 0.01 na alpha. So, yan yung probability niya. So, check natin. Ngayon, di ba, pag ginraph natin, yung shaded part natin, yun yung 0.01. So, kung gagamitin natin yung table, kailangan natin yung left side area. Kaya ang gagawin, 1 minus 0.01, gagamitin natin yung 0.99. Ngayon, ano yung equivalent z-score ng 0.99? So, referring dun sa table, closest value sa 0.99 is 0.9901. So, kukunin natin is 2.33. Kaya yung value ng z-score natin for 0.01 na level of significance is 2.33. So, itong 2.33 na to, ito yung critical value natin. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, halimbawa, nagkameron tayo ng actual no, na z-score. Bawa yung value natin naging 2.5. Okay? So, si 2.5 is greater than sa 2.33. So, ibig sabihin dito magpo-fall under yung 2.5 mo. So, ibig sabihin nasa critical region ka. Ibig sabihin yung hypothesis mo is reject. Okay? Pero later i-apply natin yan sa more numerical example. For now, yung dinidiscuss natin is yung identifying yung critical value given yung level of significance natin. Okay? Next is kapag yung level of significance natin is left-tailed naman siya. So, ibig sabihin ng left-tailed, yung null hypothesis natin is equals to a certain number. Then, yung alternative hypothesis natin is less than certain number. Okay? Left-tailed siya. So, ibig sabihin, nasa left side of the curve. And then, sige po, yung mangyayari ngayon is kukunin natin yung value nung ano natin, nung area natin. Wait lang ha. Okay, for a while lang. Okay, for a while. Okay, so again, hanapin natin ngayon sa z-table yung value ng 0.01. So, ano yan? Upon checking. So, let's check nga. Saan yung z-table natin. Refresh lang natin yung memory natin pagdating sa z-table. Okay. Okay. Kita na ba yung table? Yan. Okay, ang kailangan natin is 0.01. Then, nasa left side tayo ng curve. So, sa negative tayo titingin. Then, 0.01 is somewhere 01, 01. Dito pala. Okay, 0.0099. So, I think ito yung pinakamalapit, no? Compare dito sa 0.01017. So, ito yung value natin. So, yung z-score niyan is negative 2.33. Kaya kung babalikan natin yung slide natin, okay, yung slide natin is ito. So, yan. Yung value natin is negative 2.33. So, ibig sabihin yan yung critical region natin. So, kalimbawa, ang Z actual natin, kalimbawa, naging negative 2.4. So, ibig sabihin, critical siya. So, we have to reject yung null hypothesis natin. Okay? Next is yung critical value para sa alpha is equals to 0.01. So, two-tailed test naman tayo. So, ibig sabihin yung null hypothesis natin is equals to a certain number. Tapos yung alternative natin is not equal sa certain number. Okay? Nalalag ata. Okay? Yeah. So, ganyan yung condition niya. So, ibig sabihin, both left and right side is kukunin natin yung value ng z-score niya. Okay? So, dito, so 0.01 yung probability ng area natin. So, nakuha na pag chinek natin, ano yung z-score ng 0.01. So, ang pag two-tailed test, diba, given 0.01, di-divide mo siya sa 2. Kaya 0.005. Okay? Kaya makikita nyo dito, ano yung value ng 0.005? And dito, para makuha natin yung area, yung z-score, kailangan natin yung 1 minus 0.005 nung right. Kaya nakuha natin is ito, 0.995. So, ito yung kailangan nating values dito. So, pag tinignan ulit natin yung table, check natin, pinakamalapit na value sa 0.005, makukuha nating value is negative 2.58. And then, kapag chinek natin yung 0.9950, makukuha nating value is 2.58 positive. So, ito yung critical values natin for a level of significance sa 0.01 na two-tailed test. Okay? Okay. Now, we apply yung procedure. So, yung procedure na to, same lang din yung diniscuss natin. In word format lang. Kapag left-tailed siya, yung critical region natin is in the left side ng mean. Kapag right-tailed, nasa right side ng mean. Kapag two-tailed, nasa left and right. Pero i-half natin yung alpha by 2. No? Then after getting that, we have to, itong table na sinasabi, yung z-table natin, no? We have to check the z-table natin to identify yung z-score na critical. Okay? Okay. Example number 1. So find the critical value of each of situation and draw the appropriate figure showing the critical region. Okay? So letter A, left tail test with level of significance of 0.1. So left tail tayo. So ibig sabihin yung critical value natin is nasa left side nung mean natin. Okay? So ito yan. Yan yung critical value natin. No? Na again, yung value daw niya of alpha is equals to 0.1. Ngayon, hanapin natin ngayon sa table yung pinakamalapit na value sa 0.1. Okay? Since nasa left side tayo, so negative dapat yung z-score natin. Hanapin sa 0.1. Pinakamalapit sa 0.1 is dito tayo, 0.1, 0.1. So ito, 0.10027 yung pinakamalapit. So yung value natin will be negative 1.28. So yung z-score natin, pakita lang natin. Okay, so yung z-score natin is negative 1.28. Okay? So yun yung para sa left tail test. Letter B, two tail test with alpha equals to 0.02. So kung two tail tayo, yung alpha natin di-divide natin ng 2. So 0.02 divide natin sa 2, that will be 0.01. Okay? So yung drawing natin, yan. Tapos kung two tail tayo, ganyan yung itsura ng curve natin. Okay? So, kung 0.01 to, alpha natin dito, ano itong sa right side? So, 1 minus 0.01. Wala natin ay 0.99. Yung 0.99, sorry, mali to, no? Ito ay 0.01, tapos itong portion na to Ito yung 0.99. Okay? So, hanapin natin yung z-score niyan. So, since equal naman both side yan, kahit is maalin lang doon sa dalawa. No? So, try natin yung 0.99. Okay, si 0.99 right side tayo. So, second page tayo nito. Then 0.99, pinakamalapit is ito, 0.99010. No? So, we have 2.33 yung value natin. Okay? So, z-score natin is 2.33. So, same lang din dito, negative lang yung sign. Okay? Sa letter C natin, right tail tayo, then 0.05, no? So, ito yung shaded portion natin. So, alpha is 0.005. So, ano yung hanapin natin probability? So, yung 1 minus 0.005, which is 0.995. So, pag chinek natin yung table, ay, hindi ko pala na-view yung ano. So, table na tayo. So, kailangan natin is 0.995. Dito, closest sa 0.995 ay ito, I think, no? 0.99506. So, 2.58. So, share ko lang ulit yung balik tayo sa screen natin. Okay, this is 2.58. Okay? So, ganun lang yung pag-identify ng critical value based dun sa given level of significance natin. Okay? So, more on application lang siya ng normal distribution natin. So, same lang yung paghahanap niya. Okay? Question sa number 1. Hello?
Wala po. Wala po.
Thank you. Okay, sa number 2. Okay? So, left tail tayo. So, ano yung sa number 2? Letter A natin. Left tail na 0.01. Ano yung value ng z-score natin? Sige nga. Ako patingin ako ng value. 0.01 na alpha. Ano dapat yung value natin? Anong value ng z-score niya? Negative. Okay, negative 2.33. Okay, don't forget yung sign. Letter B, two-tailed test tayo. Alpha divide 2, so 0.01 divide 2, so 0.005. Okay, value ng z-score natin. I think this is the same do sa mga na-compute na natin earlier, no? So this is alpha 0.005, 0.005. Kailangan natin is 0.995, no? Yung z-score natin is anong value? Sa 0.005. 2.58. Okay? So, we have 2.58 tsaka negative 2.58. Okay? Then last, right tail test. 0.95 yung hahanapin natin. Okay? So, yung z-score natin for 0.95 is ilan? 0.95. So, smallest natin is 0.95. Ilan? Z-score natin dito. 1 point. So, may dalawang sumasagot na. May isang 1.64, merong 1.65. So, i-check nyo na lang no, kung alin yung mas malapit. So, parehas i-minus nyo sa 0.95. Kung sino yung mas malayo, okay? Siya yung mas piliin natin. So, mas maliit yung value ni 95053. So, ang tamang sagot ay 1.65. Okay? Or kung gusto nyo mas exact, so pwede kayo mag-interpolate, no? Pero time consuming interpolation. I would suggest i-minus nyo na lang doon sa hinahanap nyo. Then yung mas maliit yung value, yun yung gagamitin natin value. Okay? Question for getting the critical value of level of significance. Question pa?
Wala po.
Okay,
Wala
thank
po.
you. Nakakasunod naman. Thank you. So, if you don't have any more question, this ends our lecture for today. Okay. 53 ang difference ng 1.65. Okay, 1.65 ang value niya ay 9. Pag 1.64, 94950. Ang lumalabas sa akin difference. Okay. Correct pala. May mali pala ako. Sa 1 ko pala siya na ma-minus, no? So, mas maliit nga point, si 1.64. Okay? So, sorry. So, this should be 1.64. Sa 1 ko pala mina-minus siya kanina, kaya mas malaki. Okay, thank you, Mr. Arman, for clarification. Okay, other question? If you don't have any more question, this ends our lecture for today. Next meeting, we will be discussing yung 3 methods and solving yung hypothesis natin. So, next meeting, ma-identify na natin kung i-reject natin or i-accept yung hypothesis natin. Okay? Okay, so kung